Well, it was Narendra Modi's direct overture to Muslims at the Patna rally on Sunday that of course got overshadowed by the blast. What got missed was Modi's message to Muslims that Hindus and Muslims need to fight poverty together. Aware very clearly that Bihar and UP hold the key to his prime ministerial ambitions, Mr. Modi was clearly trying a change of approach. The question is, will it work?
गरीब हिंदू को भी गरीबी के खिलाफ लड़ना है, गरीब मुसलमान को भी गरीबी के खिलाफ लड़ना है। अगर हम दोनों को गरीबी के खिलाफ लड़ना है, आओ हिंदू मुसलमान इकट्ठा होकर के हम गरीबी को परास्त करें।
A direct overture to Muslims, perhaps realizing that the Muslim vote in Bihar and UP could be the clincher in his attempt at being Prime Minister. Narendra Modi in Patna appealed to Muslims to take into account his developmental credentials. Modi's attempts to woo Muslims began with his Sadbhavna Yatra, but as he travels the states, his appeal has become more direct. On Friday, he reacted to Rahul Gandhi's claim that the ISI has been in touch with young men bereaved in the Muzaffarnagar riots.
किसी कौम पर इस प्रकार का इल्जाम लगाने से पहले आपका जिम्मा बनता है कि ISI, ये पाकिस्तान की खुफिया एजेंसी, हिंदुस्तान के उन कौन नौजवानों के साथ जुड़ी हुई है, उसके नाम घोषित करो, और अगर नाम नहीं है, हिंदुस्तान के उन नौजवानों की आप सार्वजनिक रूप से माफी मांगो।
The BJP, of course, maintains that Narendra Modi was always secular. This is nothing new. But the Congress is skeptical about his motives.
He has governed Gujarat without discrimination, not making any distinction between people of one community or the other.
It cannot be politics. It's just pure, simple, secular democracy.
मुझे इस बात की प्रसन्नता है कि मोदी जी अब बात कर रहे हैं हिंदू मुस्लिम एकता की।
Sources in the BJP say that for quite some time now, the core Muslim members of Team Modi have been trying to engage with Muslim scholars and institutions, particularly in UP, Bihar and Delhi, trying to convince them that Narendra Modi growth model had benefited not just the majority community, but minority as well. With Bureau Inputs in Ahmedabad, Rohit Ban for NDTV.
Well, is this a strategy that will work for Mr. Modi? We have Amir Raza Hussain joining us in this particular segment. Also, businessman Zafar Sareshwala, who's been saying for a while now that he believes Mr. Modi has had a turn and has had a change of heart. But Amir Raza Hussain, do you believe there's a difference in the way Mr. Modi is talking to the Muslim community today?
Oh no, absolutely not. All he's done is he's revived Indira Gandhi's old Garibi Hatao agenda. But you know, it's not just the way he's talking to the Muslims. There's this whole hype and hoopla about Modi and his developmental agenda. I need to know, has he told us what that agenda is? What does he have an agenda to for Uttar Pradesh, for Bihar? Has he got an agenda? What is his stand on the division of Andhra Pradesh? How does he plan to feed the people who have been displaced in Orissa? What does he plan to do in Mamta's Bengal that will remove poverty? What is his actual program for the minorities? Just by saying that Muslims and Hindus should fight poverty together hardly is appeasing the Muslims or giving an answer to the problems of the Muslims. He has not given us problems for anyone in this country. We have just heard developmental agenda, developmental agenda. What is the agenda? What are his answers to specific questions? What are his answers to secular questions? What are his answers then to questions of the minorities? That is what we need to know.
Okay, so you believe it's just window dressing, but Zafar Sareshwala, you've been saying for a while...
I think it's windbag.
Okay, you say it's that. Zafar Sareshwala, you've believed the opposite for a while as a Muslim entrepreneur in Gujarat, and you believe that there is a change. What do you think was different about what Mr. Modi said in Bihar on Sunday?
No, you know, particularly about the Hajj, which Mr. Modi said, that Gujarat has a quota of 4,300 Hajis, and there were 40,000, but I'll correct it, there were 46,000 applications from Muslims to go for Hajj. Now, Nidhi, in last 10 years, year on year, the applicants for Hajj has been increasing at the rate of 14-15% per annum.
Oh God, what does that
And
have
when
to
you
do
make
with
an
the
application,
development of the
you make
minority?
an application for Hajj. Well, keep quiet, Mr. Raza Hussain. I did not interrupt. Learn to listen to people first. When Muslims have to file the application, they have to make full amount of 2.5 to 3 lakhs of rupees at the start of it. Then there are other indicators like zakat, nidhi. Since last 40-50 years, you know, the madrasas in UP, Bihar, Bengal and Assam, 50%, more than 50% of their zakat comes from Gujarat. Now here, the question is, it has been, Gujarati Muslims have been going for Hajj in large numbers much before. They have been paying zakat much before. The question is that if Modi would have been discriminative, or if the development which people may agree or they may not agree, but whatever development has happened, whether it is inclusive or not inclusive, then the amount of zakat would have decreased and the number of Hajis going for Hajj would have decreased.
I just want to ask you about a story that appeared in the Hindu.
So where is this wealth
I just want to
coming
ask
from?
you about a story that
And
appeared in
also,
the Hindu,
Nidhi,
which
Mr.
says
Modi-
that Muslims in Ahmedabad
Nidhi-
are increasingly living in ghettos. What would you say to that story? I don't know if you read it, but it was a little disturbing to read that.
Well, I've read it.
Yes,
Nidhi.
Amir Raza Hussain.
No,
It's a
Mr.
shocking
Raza
story.
Hussain, that question
It is
is
a
put to
shocking
me.
story. It just goes to show how much of this inclusive agenda has worked for the Muslims. It's a story written by a non-Muslim. It shows how the Muslims are increasingly getting into ghettos, increasingly not getting education, increasingly living in filth, increasingly not getting any support for any kind of work, increasingly being turned away from businesses. It was there yesterday in the Hindu, and it's there for Mr. Zafarwala to read.
Mr. Sareshwala, do give us your comment on that, because it gives you another, I'm
Yeah,
sure what
please.
you're saying
I-
reflects
I-
reality. There
Yes.
is an alternate reality also. Yes.
Yes. That is one part which Hindu has published. I have read it, but I don't need to read because I am living in Ahmedabad. And ghettoization, Nidhi, is not new. In Gujarat, every city of Gujarat, there is separate enclosure for Muslims and Hindus for at least 70 years. It is nothing new. And within Muslims, there is separation between Bohras, the Memons, the Chipas, and within the Hindus also. The Shahs live separate, the Jains live separate, the Patels live separate. So this is absolutely, and in which part of India where the Muslims are together? I am asking Mr. Raza Hussain, can a Muslim buy a house in French colony? Can he buy a house
reply,
in
Mr. Hussain. I must come to the other
You allow
panelists.
me to buy a house in defense colony. So
Yes, Amir Raza
this
Hussain.
separation,
Well, okay.
this segregation
You know,
is for at least 50, 60
what I
years.
need
Yes.
to say,
There's nothing new in that.
that
And Muslims have
segregation
their own
may
societies which
exist.
are quite,
Okay, Mr.
they are
Sareshwala,
quite
let him counter
upmarket.
guy
that.
likes-
Let him counter that. I'll come to the rest of the panel then. Yes. Yes, Mr. Raza Hussain.
You know, segregation does exist in some small measure in many cities in India, but that segregation doesn't mean that the minorities live in filth, that they wallow in dirt like animals. If you saw even the photograph in the Hindu, it just was representative of the kind of colonies the minorities were living in. It was shocking. If you see the photographs which NGOs bring from there, I'm surprised that they are actually surviving. Of course, people live in different communities, but those communities are clean, they are supported by government agencies, they have cleaning services, they have electricity, they have water supply, and they have education facilities.